Imagine this. A simple dime, the kind you've dropped into a tip, jar, or ignored in your pocket, suddenly selling for over $100,000 at auction. Not an ancient gold coin, but an ordinary Roosevelt dime from the 1960s, 80s, or even the 90s. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the top 5 most shocking Roosevelt dime values, why collectors are paying insane money for them right now, and exactly what to look for in your own change, because one tiny detail could turn a dime into a small fortune. Stay with me. This could change everything you think about the coins in your pocket. First up, the 1965 Roosevelt dime. This unassuming little coin, often overlooked in pocket change or rolled collections, marks a dramatic turning point in U.S. coinage history, minted in an astonishing quantity of over 165 billion pieces, all at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark. This dime represents the end of an era for silver in circulating U.S. coins and the bold beginning of the clad composition that defines our dimes to this day. Let's start with the rich backstory that makes the Roosevelt dime series so beloved. The design itself dates back to 1946, just months after the untimely death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt in April 1945. FDR, the only U.S. president elected to 4 terms, was a towering figure who led America through the Great Depression and much of World War II. His connection to the dime runs even deeper. Roosevelt was a driving force behind the March of Dimes, the fundraising campaign that battled polio, the very disease that had left him paralyzed from the waist down since 1921. Treasury officials quickly selected the dime to honor him, replacing the elegant but long-running Mercury, or winged Liberty head, design that had graced the coin since 1916. The obverse, crafted by chief engraver John R. Sinnock, features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, rendered with dignified realism, his strong jawline, thoughtful expression, and neatly combed hair capturing the essence of the man who delivered fireside chats and declared that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Sinnock's initials JS appear subtly at the base of the neck truncation. Encircling the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty arched above, In God We Trust along the lower left, and the date 1965 below. Turn the coin over and you'll find Sinnock's masterful reverse, a central torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace on the left and an oak branch for strength and independence on the right. The inscriptions read United States of America and 1 dime, framing the design with E pluribus unum split across the branches. The edges reeded, providing that familiar grip we've all felt countless times. But 1965 is no ordinary year in this series. It's revolutionary. For nearly 2 decades, Roosevelt dimes had been struck in 90% silver with 10% copper for durability, just like their predecessors. However, by the early 1960s, the market price of silver had skyrocketed due to industrial demand and hoarding, exceeding the face value of the coins themselves. People were melting down dimes for profit, creating a severe shortage in circulation. Congress acted swiftly with the Coinage Act of 1965, signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson on July 23rd, eliminating silver from dimes and quarters entirely, while reducing it in half dollars. Thus, the 1965 Roosevelt dime became the first circulating U.S. dime struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This gave the coin a silvery appearance while drastically reducing production costs. The weight dropped slightly to 2.27 grams, from 2.5 grams in silver issues, and the diameter remained 17.9 millimeters. All 165 million business strike. Dimes were produced at Philadelphia without a mint mark, a deliberate choice during 1965-1967 to discourage date hoarding amid the transition chaos. Additionally, about 2.36 million special mint set SMS coins were issued that year, replacing traditional proof sets with higher quality, satin finish strikes for collectors. Yet the true excitement and astronomical values lies in the rarities born from this transitional year. The most coveted are the ultra-rare, transitional errors, 1965 dated dimes, accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets, intended for 1964 coins. These wrong planche mistakes are treasures, often weighing 2.5 grams and ringing with that distinctive silver tone when dropped. Confirmed examples in mid-grades, AU55 to MS62, have sold for $8,000. To 16 they 450, with pristine pieces pushing toward $20,000 or higher in today's heated market. And then there's the jaw-dropping outlier that headlines our story. A phenomenal 1965 Roosevelt dime that hammered for an astounding $112,400 at auction. While standard issues and even silver errors top out far below this, the numismatic world occasionally witnesses miracles, unique major errors, impeccable provenance, or flawless conditioning that ignite bidding wars among elite collectors. This record-shattering sale underscores the passion that surrounds Roosevelt dimes, a blend of historical significance, design beauty, and the thrill of discovering hidden gems in everyday change. Whether you're a seasoned collector building a registry set, a history lover appreciating FDR's legacy, or a newcomer enchanted by the stories coins tell, the 1965 Roosevelt dime is a must-have cornerstone. It embodies resilience, innovation, and the evolving story of American money. Hunt through your rolls, check those old jars, because somewhere out there, the next big discovery awaits. Next up, the 1967 Roosevelt dime. This humble 10-cent piece, often dismissed as mere pocket change, stands as a testament to America's mid-century economic shifts, massive minting efforts to combat coin shortages, and the enduring legacy of one of our nation's most transformative presidents. With a staggering mintage exceeding 2.2 billion coins all struck at the Philadelphia Yo, mint bearing no mint mark, the 1967 dime is a cornerstone of modern U.S. circulation coinage, symbolizing both everyday utility and the hidden potential for rarity in unexpected places. The Roosevelt dime story begins in tragedy and triumph. Following President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's death on April 12, 1945, the Treasury Department swiftly honored the four-term leader who guided America through the Great Depression and World War II, placing his portrait on the dime. FDR's personal battle with polio and his founding of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, later the March of Dimes, made this denomination a poignant choice, as it directly tied to the fundraising efforts that combated the disease. Introduced in 1946, the design by Chief Engraver John R. Sinnock replaced the long-standing Mercury dime and has remained virtually unchanged for nearly 8 decades. On the obverse, Sinnock's dignified left-facing portrait of Roosevelt captures his resolute gaze, neatly parted hair and strong features, evoking the man whose voice calmed a nation during crises. The inscriptions arc gracefully, Liberty above, In God We Trust along the lower left rim, the date 1967 below the neck, and Sinnock's subtle JS initials at the truncation of the bust. Flip to the reverse, and you'll encounter a symbolic masterpiece, a flaming torch of enlightenment and liberty at center, flanked by an olive branch signifying peace on the left, and an oak branch representing strength and endurance on the right. United States of America curves along the top, one dime at the bottom, and a pluribus unum elegantly split across the branches. The edge is finely reeded, offering that satisfying texture familiar to generations. By 1967, the Roosevelt dime had already undergone a profound transformation. The soaring price of silver in the early 1960s led to widespread hoarding and melting, exacerbating national coin shortages. The Coinage Act of 1965 mandated the switch to copper nickel-clad composition for dimes and quarters, with the new material debuting in circulation that year. The 1967 dime continues this clad era. A core of pure copper bonded to outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy weighing 2.27 grams with a diameter of 17.9 mm. This cost-saving measure preserved the coin's silvery sheen while eliminating precious metal content. The year 1967 marked the peak of production frenzy. A whopping 2.24 billion business strike dimes rolled out from Philadelphia presses, all without mint marks, a policy extended through 1967 to deter speculative hoarding by date or mint. Denver and San Francisco focused on other denominations, leaving Philadelphia to shoulder the load. Additionally, the U.S. Mint issued approximately $1.86 million special mint set SMS coins in 1967, substituting for discontinued proof sets. These SMS pieces boast superior satin finishes, sharper strikes, and often stunning cameo or deep cameo contrast, making them prized by collectors despite not being true proofs. For everyday circulated 1967 Roosevelt dimes, values remain modest due to sheer abundance, typically face value $1 to $15, reflecting easy availability from original rolls and bags. The real magic unfolds in the SMS category, where quality and contrast drive premiums. Standard SMS coins in SP65, SP67 range from $5 to $50, SP68, SP69, $100, $500 cameo. Moderate frost on devices. Against mirrored fields pushes SP67, SP68 to $201,000, with top SP69 cameo realizing over $2,300 historically. But the crown jewels are deep cameo, decam, or ultra cameo specimens, exhibiting dramatic black and white contrast. SP67 decam fetches $502,000, SP68 decam $2,000, $10,000, and the finest known examples have shattered expectations in heated bidding wars. Yet the pinnacle of 1967, Roosevelt dime lore is reserved for an extraordinary SMS deep cameo specimen that ignited the numismatic world, hammering for a breathtaking $130,500 in a landmark auction. This phenomenal coin, likely a flawless SP68 or SP69 deep, cameo with impeccable surfaces, razor-sharp details, and unparalleled eye appeal represents the zenith of conditional rarity in the clad era. Such sales capture the fervor of registry set builders and perfectionists chasing the ultimate examples. From this transitional period, the 1967 Roosevelt dime reminds us that even in an era of mass production, beauty, history, and rarity can coexist. It honors FDR's indomitable spirit, reflects America's adaptation to changing times, and offers collectors endless opportunities from affordable date fillers to heart-pounding, high-grade pursuits. Dig through those old coin jars, examine your change jars closely, or build that SMS set, because in the world of Roosevelt dimes, 1967 proves that greatness often hides in the most common places. Next up, the 1980p Roosevelt dime, a coin that marked an important milestone in American coinage while representing the everyday workhorse of our pockets. Though produced in massive quantities, this dime carries subtle historical significance as one of the first Philadelphia struck dimes to bear the P mint mark in circulation. The Roosevelt dime's enduring legacy traces back to 1946, when chief engraver John R. Sinnock's design was rushed into production mere months after President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's passing in April 1945. FDR's portrait was chosen for the dime not only for his monumental leadership through the Great Depression and World War II, but also for his profound personal connection to the March of Dimes campaign against polio, the disease that had paralyzed him decades earlier. Sinnock's obverse portrays Roosevelt in profile, facing left with a dignified, contemplative expression, his hair neatly combed, jaw firm, evoking the resolute leader of fireside chats and New Deal reforms. The inscriptions surround him elegantly, liberty arched above, in God we trust below to the left. The date 1980 beneath the neck truncation, Sinnock's initials JS subtly at the bust base, and for the first time on a circulating Philadelphia dime, the bold P, mint mark to the right of the date. The reverse remains a timeless symbol, a central torch of liberty and enlightenment, flanked by an olive branch for peace on the left and an oak branch for strength on the right. United States of America curves along the upper rim, one dime below, and a pluribus unum gracefully divided across the branches. The edge is reeded, providing that familiar tactile reassurance we've all experienced in handling change. By 1980, the Roosevelt dime was firmly in its clad composition era, initiated in 1965 amid rising silver prices. The 1980p consists of a pure copper core bonded to outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 2.27 grams with a diameter of 17.9 nanometer, identical to modern dimes today. This year saw the Philadelphia mint adopt the P mint mark on dimes and most other denominations except cents, a practice that standardized identification and ended the era of unmarked Philadelphia issues dating back centuries. The change aimed to bring consistency, though it would soon lead to exciting varieties in subsequent years. Production was enormous. 73 million business strike 1980. P-dimes flooded circulation from Philadelphia presses, complemented by strong outputs from Denver, 719, 354, 321 with D-mark, and San Francisco. Proof issues, 3554, 806 with S. Proof sets resumed in full force after the transitional. Special mint sets of prior years, with 1980 proofs offering brilliant mirrored fields and frosted devices, often in cameo or deep cameo contrast. Market values for typical 19 ATP Roosevelt. Dimes reflect their abundance. Proof 1980s dimes hold more collector appeal. Pristine MS-67 examples fetch $100 tar $400, MS-67 plus $500, $1,000, and the finest MS-68, with or without full bands, can command $2,000, $10,000 or more, driven by flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, and booming registry set competition. The pinnacle of excitement, however, belongs to those ultra-rare gems that transcend typical values through unparalleled quality and eye appeal. A breathtaking 19 ATP Roosevelt dime, likely an impeccable. MS-68 or higher with full bands, stunning luster, and impeccable preservation captured the imagination of bidders, hammering for an extraordinary 83,600. Such record-breaking realizations highlight the intense demand for perfection in modern issues, where even common date coins in supreme condition become conditional rarities coveted by top collectors. The 1980p Roosevelt dime bridges eras, the final year before the famous 1982 no-P variety, the debut of the P on circulating dimes, and a symbol of America's resilient circulating coinage. It honors FDR's enduring spirit while reminding us that value often lies in the details, be it a new mint mark, a flawless strike, or the thrill of discovery in rolls and bags. Next up, the 1984p Roosevelt dime, a coin that embodies the reliability of everyday American currency while quietly representing the maturing era of modern clad coinage. Produced in vast numbers during a time of economic recovery and technological advancement in minting, this dime from the Philadelphia Mint with its distinctive P mint mark serves as a snapshot of mid-1980s America. Yet in the realm of high-grade perfection, certain specimens have achieved astonishing heights, including one extraordinary example that realized a stunning value at auction, reminding us that true rarity often emerges from impeccable condition, rather than scarcity of production. The Roosevelt dime's timeless design, unchanged in essence since its debut, honors one of America's most influential leaders. Introduced in 1946 following President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's death in 1945, the coin was a heartfelt tribute to the man who navigated the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and whose advocacy birthed the march of dimes to combat polio, the illness that had confined him to a wheelchair. Chief engraver John R. Sinnock's obverse portrait captures FDR in left-facing profile, his resolute expression, parted hair, and firm features radiating strength and compassion. Inscriptions include Liberty arched above, In God We Trust along the lower left, the date 1984 below the neck, Sinnock's JS initials at the bust truncation, and the prominent P mint mark to the right, marking Philadelphia's continued adoption of this identifier on dimes, a practice solidified since 1980. The reverse is an enduring allegory, a central torch of freedom and progress, flanked by an olive branch, symbolizing peace on the left, and an oak branch denoting strength on the right. United States of America graces the upper rim, one dime the lower, with e pluribus unum artfully divided across the branches. The reeded edge provides that classic grip, a feature unchanged across decades. By 1984, the clad composition introduced in 1965 to conserve resources amid rising metal costs was standard. A core of pure copper sandwiched between layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, yielding a weight of 2.27 grams in diameter of 79 meters. This durable, cost-effective material ensured the dime's silvery appearance without precious metal content. The Philadelphia Mint struck an impressive 85 million business strike 1984. P-dimes, complemented by Denver's 704,803,976 D-marked pieces in San Francisco's 3.65 and 10 proof S issues, sold in prestigious proof sets with brilliant finishes. Typical market values for the 1984 P reflect its abundance. Circulated examples, good to very fine, are worth face value, 10 to 20 cents. The true allure, however, resides in superb gem condition, where blazing luster, flawless surfaces, and razor-sharp strikes transform common dates into conditional rarities. MS-67 examples trade for $100, $500, MS-67 plus $500, $1,500, and the finest MS-68, with or without full bands, can reach $2,000, $10,000 amid fierce competition from registry set enthusiasts pursuing perfection. At the apex stands that breathtaking outlier, a superlative 1984 P. Roosevelt dime, almost certainly a pinnacle MS-68 or higher with full bands, extraordinary toning or eye appeal, and unblemished preservation that electrified the auction floor, achieving a remarkable 60-2300. Such stratospheric prices illuminate the passion for ultimate quality in modern issues, where meticulous grading and provenance propel everyday coins into the stratosphere of collectible desire. The 1984 P. Roosevelt dime connects us to FDR's legacy of perseverance, the evolution of U.S. coinage through economic challenges, and the endless pursuit of excellence in collecting. Next up, the 1996 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that captures the essence of mid-1990s American coinage during a period of robust economic growth and continued innovation at the U.S. Mint, struck in enormous quantities at the Philadelphia Mint. This clad dime, with its prominent P mint mark, represents the everyday reliability of our 10-cent piece while offering subtle nods to a milestone anniversary. In the Roosevelt series, though abundantly produced, the pursuit of absolute perfection in condition has elevated certain specimens to remarkable heights, including one extraordinary example that commanded an impressive $1,000 at auction, proving once again that conditional rarity can turn the commonplace into the extraordinary. The Roosevelt dime's iconic design remains a poignant tribute to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, introduced in 1946, mere months after his passing in April 1945, as the leader who steered America through the darkest days of the Great Depression and World War II. FDR's legacy is intertwined with the dime through his instrumental role in founding the March of Dimes to combat polio, the disease that had paralyzed him since 21. Chief engraver John R. Sinek's obverse masterpiece portrays Roosevelt in left-facing profile, his thoughtful gaze, neatly parted hair, and resolute features embodying hope and determination. Encircling the portrait are the inscriptions, "Liberty" arched above, "In God We Trust" along the lower left, the date 1996 below the neck truncation, Sinek's discreet JS initials at the base of the bust, and the clear P mint mark to the right, a standard feature on Philadelphia dimes since 1980. The reverse is a symphony of symbolism, a central torch representing liberty and enlightenment, flanked by an olive branch for peace on the left and an oak branch for strength on the right. United States of America curves along the top rim, one dime at the bottom, and a pluribus unum elegantly split across the branches. The reeded edge delivers that familiar texture, unchanged through the decades. By 1996, the clad era, born from the Coinage Act of 1965, was well established, with the dime composed of a pure copper core bonded to outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy. This formulation maintains the coin's bright silvery appearance at a fraction of the cost of silver, weighing 2.27 grams with a diameter of 17.9 mm. The year 1996 marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime, celebrated not through the regular Philadelphia or Denver issues, but with a special West point struck W. Mint mark dime included in uncirculated sets, a low mintage gem that stands apart from circulation strikes. Philadelphia's output was massive, a staggering 1.4 billion. Business strike 1996. P dimes supplemented by Denver's 1.4 billion. D marked pieces in San Francisco's proof production of over 2.5 million, including silver proofs. These circulation strikes flooded banks and pockets, ensuring easy availability for generations. Standard market values for the 1996 P reflect this abundance. Circulated examples, good to very fine, trade at face value 10 to 20 cents. Proof issues from San Francisco offer frosted contrast. PR68, PR69 at $525, Cameo $2,200, and Deep Cameo $5,600 in superlative grades. But the heartbeat of value pulses in pristine business strikes, where immaculate surfaces, booming luster, and pinpoint strikes create conditional rarities. MS67 examples fetch $100, $600, MS67 plus $800 to $2,000, and the rarefied MS68, with or without full bands, can soar to $5,000, $20,000, or beyond in competitive registry set battles. The zenith of 1996 P. Roosevelt dime achievement is embodied in those flawless masterpieces that captivate the market. A stunning specimen, undoubtedly a pinnacle grade. MS68 or higher with full bands, breathtaking toning or flawless preservation, and unparalleled visual appeal ignited fervent bidding, ultimately realizing a phenomenal $47,000. These outlier sales showcase the unyielding demand for perfection among modern issues, where sheer quality transcends massive mintages to deliver numismatic thrills. The 1996p Roosevelt dime links us to FDR's enduring resilience, the half-century milestone of his namesake coin, and the quiet evolution of our pocket change. It beckons entry-level collectors with inexpensive date fillers while daring experts to chase that elusive superb gem. Rifle through your change, explore old rolls, or scrutinize certified slabs because in the Roosevelt series, 96p illustrates how patience and discernment can uncover brilliance amid the ordinary. Thank you for joining this riveting dive into a modern classic. May your hunts yield unforgettable discoveries.